In the top right corner, we are going to have EIG, and I'm going to butcher this name. I'm going to say Suklaa. Hopefully that's right. And in the bottom left, we will have our green Zerg player. I will also butcher this name, and I will actually let my co-caster, Trojan Virus, take over and pronounce this name.
Well, we've been going with chetewas for chetewas. That's what we've been going with. His was the first game I ever cast was with chetewas. So that was fun. It was me versus chetewas. We played a best of 3 series a long time ago. It was the first game I casted.
Okay, well, all right. Hopefully we're pronouncing that correctly. We're just gonna run with it. If not, it's cool. Better not be watching this at the same time and be offended, because that means he'd be stream cheating. But as we can see right now, Suck is, I'm just going to call him EI. He is actually going for the bottommost scout, and that's not going to be correct the first time. If you look outside of his choke, near his natural expansion, you actually see he is gearing up for some sort of block off. We can definitely assume it's going to be a Forge Fast Expand. Yeah, that seems to be the case. He's throwing down the Forge there. And going Forge first, definitely the most safe thing you can do. If you throw down that Nexus really early, that means either you scouted your opponent first and you know he's going for a hatch first, which, you know, you'd be safe in that situation, or you're just taking a huge calculated risk. So he's putting down that Forge Fast Expand, and as we can see from chetewas, that's going to be the correct decision, because chetewas went for, I think it was like a 12 extractor, and then followed that with a spawning pool pretty quickly.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick spawning pool and pretty quick gas, so it'll probably have metabolic boost started when that spawning pool pops up. So he will be able to get those speedlings, possibly getting a run by. I don't know if he'll be able to get it past the wall if Suklaa gets that wall up fast enough. But currently, especially on this map, this wall is rather large, so he's going to have a few zealots. At least right now, there's no wall, really. It's been started, but it's not really close to being complete.
Well, I mean, the fastest you could get lings at your opponent's base before a wall off, you'd have to go for a 6 pool at this position. I don't even know if it's possible to get lings before your Protoss opponent can go for a wall off. I mean, I don't know if you remember DreamHack Finals a while ago. It was Moon versus Huck, and Moon actually went for a 7 pool, and they were close position, and Huck was able to defend brilliantly just in time when they were close position, and that was a pretty memorable game. So, I mean, just based on this timing, I don't think chetewas is going to be able to do anything except get early map control and destroy all scouts. Maybe since he did get such an early gas, he might want to go Banelings and go for a bust, but judging by him pulling out of gas, I don't think that's an option either. So it might just be, you know, one of those variations on a 14-14-21 build, you know, 14 extractor, 14 spawning pool, and then going for that hatchery at 21. But normally, 15 pool, 15 hatch is a lot more economic friendly, especially on a larger map like Tal'Darim, where you don't really need that speed that early, and you don't have to worry about any 2-gate pressure or things like that.
Yeah, chetewas hasn't scouted anywhere other than knowing he's not in the top. So that is definitely, if those lings that were spawned left right away, I think it would have beaten the cybernetics core, but by just a little bit, and he could have gotten a few nice kills on the probe line, but he didn't know where his opponent was even, and he didn't even send them out to scout right away. So he just threw down that hatchery on 26, isn't going to be going for anything too much of an all-in yet. There is a roach warrant going down, so we could be seeing a 2-base all-in if he chooses to do so. But typically, if you're going to go for more of an economic play, you're going to go for a quick 3rd base against the Forge Fast Expand Protoss.
Yep. And we can see that chetewas actually did scout up there. He saw everything that's going on. He saw that Chrono Boost on that gateway and on that cybernetics core. You can obviously assume pretty safely that it's Warp Gate that he's researching, and he actually did pop out a sentry first, which does take a lot more time, obviously, because you need that cybernetics core. So this is a little risky. If there had been some sort of a run-by, obviously it would have been possible from chetewas. Going for that Zealot's always the most safe thing to do in this situation. But just looking at the income chart right here, we can see that EiGSuklaa is actually already 7 to 8 harvesters ahead, which doesn't sound like much, but this early in the game, that's over 400 minerals a minute, and that's certainly not where you want to be as a Zerg player who's really basing play off of an economy type of style. I mean, that's just the style of Zerg. So to be behind your Protoss opponent this early, it's really not that good. Sometimes when the Protoss does go for that Forge Fast Expand, he's just about even with the Zerg, but it's around the 9-minute mark that the Zerg really wants to pull away from his opponent. So the only way I can see chetewas doing that is if he goes for a fast third, like you mentioned.
And EiGSuklaa getting supply blocked a little bit on that Immortal trying to come out, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. He is throwing down 3 gateways, 3 additional ones, so he'll be on a 5-gate robo style right now. Actually, 6 gates are out right now. I missed the one at the wall, so I don't know if he can support all of those buildings simultaneously. He probably will be able to use most of them, and he is quite saturated. Just recently, actually, chetewas still hasn't transferred most of his drones. He is way oversaturated at his main. He needs to transfer a few more of those.
Yep.
He did break down, no, he's trying to break down the rocks at his third, but is not using all of his lings for that.
He's only got about 3 lings there. It'll take a while.
I guess he hasn't built any more lings. So
yeah.
Right now he just has Roach Warren, that's what it's called, and a Hydralisk Den up. Throwing down 2 more evolution chambers as well. He is a little bit behind though on the supply, quite a bit, by 20 already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of at ends with chetewas. He definitely shows a sense of game knowledge in the sense that he has gone for a very minimalist style as of right now, as far as how many units he's gotten. Right now, he did have that Roach Warren and that Hydra Den at the perfect timings to be able to defend from pushes that we're about to see right now from EiGSuklaa. But he really doesn't have that economy that he should, and I think right now he's going to be punished for it from EiGSuklaa, who is now moving in.
Yeah, he is going to probably get a queen kill. Only a few lings just finished up. He has pretty good creep spread, but he just got supply block there, and that's going to be really bad.
Yeah,
he's not going to be able to...
This is going to be terrible for chetewas. And, oh, he's going to have a bunch of lings popping, but it looks like they might get focus fired down as they're all just running at a wall of sentries, and it looks like the hatch does fall. And this is no bueno for chetewas. That might even be game. I don't see how he could come back from being on 1 base after such a bad start with an economy like that. His army is next to 0, and he's supply blocked. There's just so much going wrong for him at this point.
A few overlords just spawned, but I have a feeling that's going to get filled up rather quickly.
Yep.
He needs to use the larva at the expansion. He has so much money.
Yep.
You were talking about the economy just as the attack.
Yeah.
Pretty good force fields, only
Yep.
trapping a few roaches, though. But you're talking about the economy. As this battle seems that it's definitely going in EiGSukla's favor. You said that he had an economy that was not as good, but then again, he wasn't even spending all of his money that he did have.
Right,
he had about 1,500 minerals there.
Ooh, nice
Pretty
wall.
good force fields, too.
I mean, it looks like chetewas really is not going to be able to come back from this. I mean, if he had, followed a normal metagame and started pumping out those Hydras earlier, I think he was supply blocked for a good portion of the game, which is why maybe he didn't. Maybe he was focusing on other things, I'm not sure. But it's interesting what you said about his economy. I mean, his drone count was really low, but he still had high money, which obviously means he needs to work more on getting those larva injects, maybe even a macro hatch, which, it doesn't mean that you're bad with macroing. It just means you're going to be able to pump out a lot more units at once. You see a lot of professional players like Rhett, being able to get that macro hatch and being able to just pump out a ton of drones at once, and also units, which would have been really helpful for chetewas at a time like that. I mean, he had the timings, just not the macro to be able to compete, and he lost pretty convincingly.